Here is the entire story of the book, The Tesla Files, A Whistleblower, a Leak, A Fight for Truth by Sönke Iwersen and Michael Verfürden. The Spark, an anonymous caller and a staggering leak. The story begins on November 4th, 2022, when Sönke Iwersen, head of the investigative team at the German newspaper Handelsblatt, receives an unexpected call. A colleague in Tokyo connects him with an anonymous source claiming to be a Tesla employee in Norway with information about serious internal problems. Communicating through the encrypted app Threema, the source, who is deeply concerned about Tesla's careless handling of personal data, quickly sends a trove of files. The journalists are stunned by the sheer volume and sensitivity of the data. They receive spreadsheets containing the personal and financial details of over 100,000 current and former Tesla employees, including names, addresses, social security numbers, and salaries. The leak is a massive data breach, seemingly accessible to any employee within Tesla's internal IT system, Jira. The source claims that this information, along with countless other sensitive documents like contracts and supplier invoices, is virtually unprotected. Initially skeptical, the Handelsblatt team, including data journalist Michael Verfürden, begins a nerve-wracking investigation to verify the data's authenticity. The process is fraught with challenges, from opening Mac-specific files on their Windows machines to fearing the data could be a sophisticated deepfake designed to manipulate Tesla's stock. The anonymous source, driven by a desire to expose how Elon Musk has exploited and deceived people, eventually agrees to help. He and a trusted friend still working at Tesla film themselves accessing and downloading the sensitive files from a public library, providing crucial video evidence. To secure final proof, Iwersen flies to Drammen, Norway in December 2022 to meet the whistleblower in person. There he learns his name, Łukasz Krupski. In a tense live demonstration in a hotel lobby, Krupski's friend logs into Tesla's system and, following Iwersen's instructions, retrieves highly confidential files with ease, including documents related to Elon Musk himself. The ultimate confirmation comes from an unexpected discovery. A search for the German word for public prosecutor's office, Staatsanwaltschaft, uncovers an official, confidential order from Austrian authorities to Tesla regarding the getaway car used by fugitive Wirecard executive January Marsalek. This proves the data is real, and the security is shockingly lax. Before leaving Norway, Iwersen receives a hard drive from Krupski containing over 100 gigabytes of internal Tesla data. The man behind the empire, Elon Musk, superstar. To understand the company, the journalists delve into the life of its leader. Elon Musk's story is one of extremes, beginning with a violent and psychologically abusive childhood in Pretoria, South Africa, under his father, Errol, a man Musk would later describe as evil. A socially awkward but brilliant child, Musk found solace in science fiction and video games, selling his first game, Blastar, at age 12. Moving to North America, he co-founded his first company, Zip2, a digital business directory, with his brother Kimball. The venture showcased his ultra-hardcore work ethic. He slept in the office and demanded the same grueling commitment from everyone else. Though forced out of the CEO role, the sale of Zip2 in 1999 made him a multimillionaire. He then founded Link2X.com, an online bank that merged with Peter Thiel's Confinity to become PayPal. Despite his drive, his ego and difficult management style led to another ousting while he was on his honeymoon. The sale of PayPal to eBay in 2002 netted him $180 million. This fortune fueled his next, more audacious ventures. In 2002, he founded SpaceX with the grand ambition of making humanity a multiplanetary species. In 2004, he became the primary investor and chairman of Tesla, a fledgling electric car company started by Martin Eberhard and Mark Tarpenning. Musk's obsessive micromanagement and drive for perfection clashed with Eberhard, whom he eventually ousted, becoming CEO in 2008. He steered both companies through near bankruptcy, a period so stressful he experienced night terrors. His personal life is equally tumultuous, marked by numerous relationships, multiple sets of children with different partners, and public scandals, including allegations of sexual harassment. His behavior is often erratic, fueled by what insiders describe as recreational drug use and an admitted addiction to video games. This public persona is built on a philosophy he calls a close match to long-termism, which prioritizes the distant future over present-day risks, a worldview that justifies current collateral damage for the sake of future gains. The investigation, cracking the black box? Back at Handelsblatt, the investigative team faces the monumental task of analyzing the chaotic data dump from Krupski. They establish a secure offline environment for the raw data and meticulously sort through over 23,000 files, including technical presentations, customer complaints, and internal memos. They create a glossary for Tesla's internal jargon, where N1 stands for number 1, Elon Musk. The files reveal a startling gap between Tesla's public image and its internal reality. Documents on the Cybertruck prototype show a litany of structural, braking, and handling problems, even as Musk was publicly tweeting that the vehicle was awesome. The investigation confirms that Tesla's data security is dangerously flawed, with internal warnings about large amounts of confidential and sensitive data accessible having gone unheeded for years. To further validate their findings, the journalists engaged the Fraunhofer Institute for Secure Information Technology, which finds no evidence of manipulation and confirms that the data originates from Tesla's systems. Armed with this confirmation and the granular details from the leak, the team begins contacting former and current employees and customers. While many are initially hesitant due to strict non-disclosure agreements, their curiosity is piqued when the journalists recite their own personal data back to them: employee IDs, home addresses, final paychecks. This tactic breaks through the wall of silence, opening a floodgate of stories about a corporate culture defined by immense pressure, fear, and a cult-like devotion to Musk. The autopilot illusion and broken promises. The first major story to emerge from the files focuses on Tesla's most vaunted feature, autopilot. The data reveals thousands of customer complaints about unintended acceleration and phantom braking, where cars would inexplicably speed up or slam on the brakes. Over 1,000 crashes are documented. The team speaks with affected owners like Thomas Karl in Switzerland, whose Tesla repeatedly braked dangerously for no reason, and Manfred Schon in the US, whose car stopped dead on a highway, causing a rear-end collision. These first-hand accounts expose the stark reality behind Musk's decade-long string of broken promises about achieving full self-driving. He repeatedly claimed the technology was a solved problem, and that a Tesla would be able to drive itself across the country imminently, promises that never materialized. A 2016 promotional video showing a Tesla driving itself was later revealed in court testimony by a senior engineer to have been staged. The car was driving on a pre-mapped route, and the driver had to intervene multiple times. This pattern of hype over reality, which insiders call getting musked, is a core part of the company's strategy. It extends to numerous other products: the Cybertruck, which launched years late with significant flaws, the Boring Company's Hyperloop, which has produced little more than a slow-moving tunnel in Las Vegas, and the perpetually promised affordable Model 2, which Musk abruptly declared pointless after years of assurances, including to the workers at his German factory. This strategy is protected by what is known as the puffery defense, where the company's lawyers argue in court that Musk's statements are such obvious exaggerations that no reasonable investor would rely on such statements. The Whistleblower's story and life inside the cult. The book then turns to the personal story of the man who made the investigation possible. Łukasz Krupski, a Polish immigrant and tech enthusiast, joined Tesla in Norway in 2018 as a devoted Musk disciple. His idealism quickly soured. In March 2019, he heroically prevented a Model 3 from exploding at a public event by pulling a burning component out with his bare hands, an act for which he received a personal thank you email from Musk. When Krupski used this newfound access to report serious safety concerns at the service center, management retaliated. He was demoted, isolated, and surveilled with spyware called Code 42. After being subjected to what he described as a, quote, culture of distrust and formal warnings for malicious behavior, he was fired in late 2021. This experience transformed him from a loyal employee into a determined whistleblower. He began meticulously collecting evidence of Tesla's wrongdoing, culminating in his contact with Handelsblatt. 6 days after the first article was published, Norwegian police, acting on a complaint from Tesla, raided Krupski's home and seized his electronic devices. This marked the end of his anonymity and the beginning of a public legal battle. Krupski's story is emblematic of the ultra-hardcore work culture Musk cultivates. The Tesla files reveal an astonishingly high employee turnover rate, over 30 times that of competitors like Volkswagen. Life inside the German gigafactory is particularly harsh. Employees describe a climate of intense pressure, inadequate safety measures, leading to 247 ambulance calls in its first year, and widespread fear. Management's tactics became notorious, including making unannounced home visits to employees on sick leave to check on them, a practice that sparked a national outcry in Germany. Life, death, and the black box. The most harrowing part of the investigation deals with fatal crashes and Tesla's deliberate policy of withholding crucial data. The journalists connect with widows Rita Meyer and Anke Schuster, whose husbands both died in fiery, unexplained Tesla crashes where first responders were unable to open the doors. In both cases, authorities requested vehicle data, and in both cases, Tesla claimed there was no relevant data available, effectively shutting down the investigations and leaving the families without answers. This stands in stark contrast to Musk's public claims that Tesla's fleet operates as a, quote, collective neural network, constantly learning and transmitting data to improve safety. Independent security researchers who hacked Tesla's hardware confirmed that the cars are designed to record and transmit data during a crash. The book reveals an internal memo from a senior Tesla engineer, Steve Bradley, who expressed frustration that Tesla's US leadership resisted documenting sensitive incidents for fear that the information could be requested in court via subpoena. This internal communication provides damning evidence that Tesla intentionally withholds data to protect itself from liability. The company's data practices are not a technical limitation, but a strategic black box, designed to shield Musk's vision from scrutiny, even at the cost of human lives. The Leviathan, Musk's ascent to unaccountable power. The book's conclusion ties these revelations to a larger, more alarming story: Elon Musk's fusion of corporate and political power. After pouring nearly $300 million into Donald Trump's 2024 presidential campaign and transforming his social media platform, X, into a propaganda machine, Musk became a central figure in the new administration. Trump rewarded him with an advisory role as the nation's chief cost cutter, heading a new Department of Government Efficiency, DOGE. This position gives Musk unprecedented influence to dismantle the very regulatory agencies, the SEC, NHTSA, and FTC, that have been investigating his companies for misleading investors, faulty autopilot software, and privacy violations. Almost immediately, key officials at these agencies resigned, and investigations were quietly sidelined. Musk has become a political force with no precedent in American history. An unelected, unaccountable figure who has effectively purchased the power to rewrite the rules that govern his own empire. The book concludes on a deeply unsettling note. The world has entered a new era where the lines between a global corporation and a superpower have blurred. Musk's promises have always come with a hidden cost, paid by his employees, his customers, and those who have died in his cars. Now that cost is being scaled to a national, and even global, level. As the authors grimly conclude, we're all musked.